late than I expected, but just know that Monday through Friday of this week, it is going to be around noonish. So look for me around that time on both Instagram and on Facebook. Instagrammers, yesterday, I know we were not live. We were having technical difficulties on yesterday, but that's okay. You can go back and view the replay. And the replay, you'll be able to catch up on what we were and what things we were doing on yesterday. So let's go ahead and get started, you guys. Go ahead and get started. I did check my DMs. I will get back with those of you that had questions. So give me at least until the end of the day to get back to you in response to those questions, okay? So our class today is how do others view your brand? Our class today is how do others view your brand? We start off with our business announcement. So please do know that we're coming on once again this week around 12 noon, both on Instagram and on Facebook. Also, if you have not gotten your one-page business plan, it is free to you. Yes, it is for the free $99. Go ahead and pick that up. You can find that at www.drshaebills.com. Again, www.drshaebills.com. One last time, www.drshaebills.com. You can find your free one-page business plan there. So if you don't have a business plan and you are an entrepreneur, a solopreneur, you're just launching whatever phase you're in, if you do not have a business plan, start off with the one-page business plan and you can get that for free. And yes, you are welcome. Our third business announcement is going to be like, follow, and share our page. Again, at both Instagram and on Facebook at drshaebills.com. Like, follow, and share. If this information has been pertinent to you, if it's helping you grow, scale, or in any capacity in your business, then don't be stingy. Share the page with your friend and those who may also be looking to start their own business. And our last business announcement for the day is if you want exclusives, if you want updates, if you want to know what the sales of the day or the sales of the week are, then go ahead and subscribe to our VIP club. It is at text bills to 21,000. Again, text bills, that's BILLS, to 21,000. Text bills to 21,000, and that's where you'll be able to get any of the sales that we be having on our products or services. You'll also get any tips, any free resources, any guides that we may be having, and that's the place where you want to be. So join our VIP club now. Don't get left out. Who am I? For those of you that may be new, I am Dr. Shae Bills. I help women entrepreneurs grow, scale their business using systems, using social media, using automation on their social media platforms. In addition to that, I'm also a real estate investor. I also own a travel company, and my husband and I, for the past 15 years, have owned and operated Bills Delivery Service. That is a transportation and logistics company, and we help others also do the same. So we provide trainings, we provide development, and things of that nature to help you grow and scale your businesses. Okay, so I'm a business strategist. I also do one-on-ones. I also do consultations with small business owners, and I'm excited about what I do. As you can tell, I show up here Monday through Friday is the goal throughout the month of September. I show up here at Dr. Shae Bills to train you and to give you tips and resources on how to grow and scale your business. And for those of you that are startup entrepreneurs, that means you are looking to start your business or you're looking to grow your business from infancy, then you're definitely in the place to be. So I am not just talented at what I do, I am gifted at what I do. So I like to thank that man above for blessing me with the gifts and talents to be able to not only do it for my family, but to share those same gifts and talents with you and yours. Okay. And yes, I do have receipts. I have several clients that I have worked with in the past, and some I have on retainer. I am definitely excited about a couple who this past week have actually seen 4 figures in their business, and I'm excited about them. I'm cheering them on. And like I said, I'm gifted gifted at what I do. I have the ability to see something and see beyond it, to be able to help my clients move in the direction they should, to be able to monetize social media, right? That's the key, okay? And no, I'm not just out here just talking the talk. I've been an entrepreneur since I was about 17, 18 years old. I'm not going to tell you what year that was, because then I'd be sharing my age. And I really don't mind doing that either. But anyway, I've been an entrepreneur of some form or fashion pretty much all my life. My husband and I combined have over 20 plus years in the entrepreneurship space. And one of the things we decided to do as we are in our prime now is to share what we have learned along the way so that your learning curve is not as long as ours was. Okay? So let's get ready to get started. So grab your pens, grab your paper. Your coach is here and class is in session. Grab your pens, grab your papers. I am here and your class is about to be in session, okay? So what is our class today? Our class today is how do others view your brand? How do others view your brand? It's one thing for us to know in our own mind how we view our brand, how we view our business. But it's a totally different thing when other people tell you how they view your business. And so today we're going to be going over some of the things we as business owners need to look at so that we can make sure in the eyes of our customers and clients that our business is being viewed favorably. Okay, that our business is being viewed favorably. So for those of you that were with us on yesterday we began this series on branding with the topic yesterday on how to build a profitable brand. So today we're actually talking about how do others view our brand. So if you missed yesterday's, just go to, after this broadcast, just go to my page and scroll down, and I'm leaving that one up so you'll be able to actually catch the replay on that one. So how do others view your brand? That's a question that you should ask yourself at least every quarter. At least once a quarter, you should be thinking, how do others view my business? When they go to my social media pages, when they go to my website, when they walk through my front door, when they pull up on the parking lot, whether you have a brick and mortar or whether you have an online business as I do, you want people to view your business favorably. So how do others view your business? So first things first, what is a brand? What is a brand? So when we talk about what is a brand, it is the customer's overall view of your company. It is their overall view. It is their first thought that comes to mind. It is the first impression they get. And we all know that we only get one shot at making a good impression, right? So when we talk about your brand, that is the very first thing a customer or a client, a patron thinks about when they are introduced to your business. What is your brand, okay? So when we think about that, we then think about our brand name. Our brand name, that means it's something that people visibly see. And when I talk to clients about their brand name, I like to ask them, does your brand name, is it congruent with your products and services? Because oftentimes, sometimes there's a disconnect. You may have the name of your business, but does the name of your business actually tell what your business is? One of the benefits of choosing a great name is when people hear the name, they automatically think about what it is you do as a business owner. And if that's not the case, then you must do the work to make sure that when people say your name or see your name, you have done such a great job with your branding that people automatically know that that's what you do. Does it make sense? I'm going to give you an example. Like, for example, I'm going to give you two letters. The letters are HP. Now, most of the time when you just see the letters HP, you don't think anything. But when you see HP slanted with a circle around it, then you know that's synonymous with Hewlett Packard. Then you're going to think about computers. You're going to think about technology. You're going to think about those things because they've done a great job making sure that the customers see that in relation to technology. Even though Hewlett Packard is just two names, they don't necessarily mean technology, but because they've done a great job at attaching what they do with who they are, people automatically know that's what they stand for. Does that make sense? So I don't want you to think that your Your business name has to be synonymous with what you do, but I do want you to know that if it is not, then you're going to have to work really hard to make sure that your business name actually represents your brand. If not, it's going to be a disconnect. So when people say your name, people don't automatically think what it is. They may ask, what is that? Or if people say, I own such and such and such, and then people say, what is that? Then that means we have to work on solidifying our brand with who we are and what we do. Okay? Does that make sense? So, and it could be when you start trying to strengthen your brand, you want to think about, do you even say the name of your business often enough? Okay? Because if you want your name of your business to be synonymous with what you do, then you have to say the name of your business more regularly when you're working with your customers and your clients, or when you're showing up on social media, or maybe visibility from your storefront. Is your name showing up? Are you using your name enough so for people to make that connection? Another thing, or another way to do that, to strengthen your brand, is to make sure your packages represent your brand. So if you have a business, you want to make sure that the packaging that you put your products, whether they be physical products, the packaging that you send out to your customers and clients, that your name is visible, that your name is represented, that everything about your brand is showcased so that people can make the connection between your product and your business name. Okay? So that's two ways that you can strengthen the brand of your business around the name of your business. Okay? Now let's talk about your brand. Your brand is what lives in the minds of your customers and clients long after they're gone. It is also the experience that your customers and your clients have with your business. So they may have an experience that leaves a bad taste. Have you ever had that happen, where you visit a business or you visit a company and it wasn't that good? And so it kind of left a bad taste in your mouth. And so your experience with that brand was not a positive one. So we don't want that to happen with your business. We want every time a customer or client has an experience with your brand, that is a positive experience. So we're going to pay attention to how they come in, meaning how you onboard customers and clients. What is your process for getting new customers and clients? How are you connecting with them when they're coming into your business, and the interaction while they're part of your business and their exit away from your business? All of those three areas have to be taken into consideration when you think about your brand, okay? So let's think about how you onboard people. Is the way that you get your clients primarily on social media, okay? And if the answer is yes, then are you showing up as your business, or are you showing up as the person? That's two separate things, okay? Because some of you are building your business based around you as the person, which means you're the brand, okay? For example, I am the brand for my business. Even though the name of my business is SB Consulting Agency, I am the brand of my business. So it's Shay Bills Consulting Agency, right? If I had named it, let's say, Arrowhead Consulting Agency, then everything I did would have Arrowhead on it, because I'm building that brand. Does that make sense? Many people are using social media in a defeated way, because what's happening, you're showing up as you, but you're neglecting the name of your business. So people are not connecting when they see your brand to you, the business owner. So you have to make a decision. Am I wanting to build a brand based around the name of my business, or am I wanting to build a brand based upon me as my business? That's very critical. When I talk to my customers and my clients, that's something that they really have to think about, especially when I work with online business owners, because those lines can get so skewed. They can get so crossed that sometimes they even have a hard time identifying the brand and differentiating the brand itself from them as a person, okay? Now, there's a way for you to strengthen your brand, right? But if you're trying to build a brand itself without you being in the forefront, then you're going to have to make sure you work to push your brand. That means your logo has to be front and center. That means the message or the tagline of your business has to be front and center. If not, people are going to look to you, and that can be tricky depending on the type of industry that you're in, whether online or offline, okay? Because if you're building a business to scale, you want to make sure that business continues to grow even if you're not at the forefront, right? That's very important for you as a business owner, okay? So your brand is going to live beyond the customer. Your brand is going to live beyond you and the experience they have with you. Your brand is going to live beyond that moment. So you want to have a strong business brand when you're building your business, okay? And their experience has to be positive. One of the things I tell clients all the time is that your brand goes beyond your product, and your brand goes beyond your service. So I want you to think about it like this. So let's say you sell pens, right? And I came and I purchased this pen from you, okay? That's great that I purchased that pen from you, but do I want that pen and that one transaction to be the only time I do business with you or you do business with me? No. So I want to build an experience around me selling a product. Do you get that? And all of that means your brand. All of that means what is the experience that a customer has with your brand. So when you come in, how are you treated? When you do business with me, how are we engaging? While you're in my storefront or while you're doing business with me online, what is that experience with me? When you're getting ready to check out, what is that experience, right? So it's not just about the product. It's not just about the product. It's not just about the service. Because we know that there are a lot of places that you can go in and you get what you want, but the customer experience was not a positive one, right? And sometimes it weighs on whether or not you continue to do business with that person or not in the future. So as a business owner, I want you to think about that as you are running your business. I don't just want the one sale. I want repeat business from that same customer. So my brand has to be strong enough that when that customer thinks about pens, they think about me. Let me use myself for an example. So I'm building a brand because I'm using myself as my brand. You may be using your name of your business as your brand. Okay, either one is fine, but you have to know how to work to build that, to make it strong online and offline. So as building my brand, I have to show up, right? Because I am my brand. Does that make sense? If you're using a logo, if you're using a name, your name has to show up. You have to be very intentional on pushing the name of your business so that when people say the name, see your logo, they automatically think, that's what they sell. That's what they have. For example, think about Walmart. Okay, now we know that the man's face, he's gone and he's deceased and his kids is carrying on his legacy. Now we know that he's not there. You don't see his face, but you see that name and you see that logo. So now no matter where you go, you already know what you're going to get when you walk in. You don't have to see the name, the family name, right? Because they spend so much time building that brand. That's what you have to do for your business. So when someone asks, what is your brand? What is your answer to that? When someone asks, what is your brand? What do you stand for? You don't want to point to you if your business is something separate from you, right? So you have to make sure you know exactly what that is so that you have an answer for your customers and clients or whoever it is that's inquiring about your business. So when we talk about what are other people saying about our brand, trust me, when people leave your business, they are talking about you. I don't care if it was favorable. I don't care if it was not favorable. I don't care if it was mediocre. At some point or another, someone's going to ask someone about your business. So what are people saying about your brand when you are not in the room? Are people saying you're not professional? That's a part of your brand. Are people saying you're hard to reach? That's a part of your brand. Are people saying they can't get in touch with you? They don't get a response? What are people saying when you're not in the room about your business? And I'm telling you, every comment or everything that can be said can always be traced back to your brand. Everything can be said. So if you don't have a strong brand system, if you don't have a strong brand to begin with, it's going to be very hard for you as you're moving on into your business to retain those that have tried to do business with you before. So I'm going to hit on two areas, okay, about your brand. First thing I want to leave you with this quote. This quote says, "A business that only makes money is a poor business." I'm going to say that again. A business that only makes money is a poor business. Do not let money be the only reason you go into business, okay? Because you're going to find yourself poor, right? Because all that's going to happen, and let me tell you why, all that's going to happen is that you're only going to be doing transaction to transaction. Okay? And when you're going into business, your business has to stand for something other than making money. Okay? So that has to do with what is your brand, right? What else are you doing? What else is your business bringing to the table? What else are you providing your customers and your clients? What value do you offer? How are you changing their lives? What benefit does your brand offer? All of this is important when you're building your brand. So it cannot just be about the bottom dollar. And even though that's important as a business owner, it is not the most important thing, okay? There are other pieces to your business that are just as important than you turning a profit at the end of the day. And your brand is one of them. Because if you don't have a strong brand, you're not going to be making the profits anyway. Okay? So you have to be building a business that is sustainable. Sustainable means a business that continues to grow week after week, month after month, year after year. Okay? Because if all you're chasing is the dollar, I promise you it will begin to fizzle if you're not building a brand along the way. People have to have a reason to keep doing business with you. They need one. I'm sorry. People need a reason to keep doing business with you. So pay attention to the brand that you're building, especially if you're a startup entrepreneur. Pay attention to the brand that you're building along the way. Also, if you are an established entrepreneur and you have a business that you've been running for a year now, or say maybe 2 years now, one of the best ways to go back and strengthen your brand, right? One of the best things for you to do is to follow up with past clients. Okay, many people forget about them. Many people that do those one sales here and there, they're on to the next. But I promise you, there is so much value in your past clients. So if you're wanting to strengthen your brand and you've been in business for a while and business has gotten a little cold, a little lukewarm in that area, one of the best things for you to do as a business owner to strengthen your brand is to follow up with your past clients. Okay? Follow up with them. So let me move into two things I wanted to talk about today on this training when we're talking about your brand. And our topic today is how do others view your brand? We're going to talk about two areas that I want you to think about concerning your business. Number one is, what is your brand vision? What is your brand mission? I'm getting vision mixed up, okay? What is your brand mission? MISSION. So your mission is, what do you want to achieve? So when I talk about brand mission, I'm asking you, what do you want to achieve with your brand? These are questions, again, that a lot of entrepreneurs do not think about when they're starting their business. They don't think about what is the mission of my brand. Most people just pick a name out the sky, or they pick a logo, or they have somebody create a logo, and they haven't even thought about how that logo is going to connect or be a disconnect to their business. I've seen more logos in the past year that are a disconnect from the business than I care to count on both hands. And I know it is trendy for people to create these avatars. It is trendy for people to create these logos. But I'm telling you, thought has to go into the brand you select, the logo you select for your business, or else it's going to be a disconnect. Okay? So you have to think about, what is the mission for my brand? Okay, and that means you have to answer certain questions so that you're selecting something that best suits your business as your business grows. One of the things you don't want to do is to jump ship from your logo after you've had one logo for a while and now you have a totally different one. Okay, so what is the brand mission? That means, what do you want to achieve? What do you want to be recognized for? That's the question. So when we think about, what do I want to achieve? What do I want to be recognized for? Okay? What do I want to be known for in my business? Okay? So, again, you have to think about what it is you have. Okay? So let's say, for example, you own a farmer's market or something. Okay? So what do you want to be recognized for? Because there are thousands of farmers markets out there. And you're trying to differentiate yourself from the next farmer's market. So when you think about your brand, of course, because you sell fruits, because you sell vegetables, because you are homegrown, all those things play into account. So when I take my clients through a brand style process, I have them to think about, okay, what is it that you do? What is it that you want to be known for? What is it that you want to be recognized for? Now let's look at the products and services you have. So if you have what other people have, let's look at what might differentiate you from everybody else. So if I'm looking at a farmer's market, of course, I'm going to have the names fresh. I'm going to have the names produce. I may see from the farm to the table, all these things synonymous with that type of business, right? So I know what my color scheme is going to be, because it's definitely going to be relatable to that business. So I'm definitely going to do greens, the yellows, the reds, all this type of stuff. So I already have my color. Why? Because I know what I want to be known for. I already have the words that are going to be synonymous to my business. Why? Because I know the mission for my business. I know the direction I'm headed for my business, okay? So I already know what my customers and clients are going to be looking for, because if you're coming to a farmer's market, you already know that you want fresh. You already know you want organic. You already know you want from the farm to the table, okay? You already know you want nutritious. Do you see why it's important for you to know what your business stands for? It is important for you to know what you want to achieve, because that's going to help you target your ideal customers and your ideal audience. There's a reason for walking through the brand process for your business. So this is the mission, my mission, what I want to achieve, okay? I want to be the solution for clients and customers who are looking for this, okay? This type of farmer's market is probably not going to be for the people who are looking for quick. It's not going to be for the people that are looking for instant. It's not going to be for the people who are wanting to microwave stuff, right? It's going to be for a particular type of audience. And when you're creating your brand, you know that you are a solution for this particular audience. So my brand has to speak to that audience. My brand has to look fresh. My brand has to look inviting. My brand has to look clean. My brand has to look, what's another? Like words that just evoke freshness, organic, okay? So that's very, very important for you to know the mission. What do you want to be recognized for in your business? That's mission. The second thing that I want you to pay attention to when you're thinking about your brand, the second thing is why did you start the business? That's $1 million question right there. You're going to get that question so often. Why did you start the brand? Okay, so if you didn't listen to our training on yesterday was an amazing training on yesterday, because yesterday we talked about the importance of your brand. Yesterday we talked about how to build a profitable brand. And when we talked about that, we went over like 7 different fears that people have when starting their brand. So the question today is, why did you start the brand? Once you got over all of those, what made you start? That's actually your purpose. That is your brand purpose. When people ask you why and you answer them, that's your brand purpose. So the second step, when I'm working with clients, when I'm talking about what is the purpose of your business, then they have to think about why they even started the business or the brand to begin with. Okay? So think about that for just a second. Why did you start it to begin with? Okay? And remember, we just said it cannot be for the money. Okay? Because I know I get a lot of men that like to say, you know, I'm starting this because, let's take that off the table. Okay? And let's come up with the other reason why you started your brand. Okay? Now that you have that reason in mind, and it could be a number of reasons, okay? I listed about 4 or 5 reasons on yesterday when we were in our training. So it could be a number of reasons. Remember, this is your business. It does not have to look like, sound like, be like anybody else. So whatever your reason is, that's good enough. That's your reason, okay? So if you could define your brand in one word, what would that word be? So if I asked you, tell me about your brand in one word, what would that word be? Again, this is the third step when I'm taking my clients through their brand style, creating their brand and creating a brand that surrounds what they want to be known for in the industry that they choose. So what is the one word that you want to be known for in your business? What would that word be? Now that you've defined or written down what that word is, what does that word mean to you? Now you have to define it, okay? So let's say, for example, I want that one word in business to be trustworthy, right? When it comes to business. Or maybe, take that back, reliable, okay? So if I want reliable to be my word that I'm known for around my brand, then how am I going to define that? Because how you define it and how I define it can be 2 different things. So let's say I want my word to be reliable. Then that means that my customer service is going to be on point. Okay? If I want my brand to be known as being reliable, then that means my word is bond. That means I'm going to show up when I say I'm going to show up, right? That means your product and your service is going to be there or ahead of time of schedule. So if reliable is my word, then I have to do everything accordingly to make sure that word resonates with my brand. Does that make sense? Yeah, that's very important. Because what you need to do and understand that how you define it is different from your customer. So how you define it means that's how you have to show up, okay? So if I say I'm known for being reliable and people say, what does that mean? Then that means my processes, that means my systems, that means my packaging, everything is reliable, okay? And that's how I'm showing up to my customers. Now that I have reliable, the next step is, what's one sentence you can come up with to sum up your brand? What's one sentence you can come up with to sum up your brand? Okay? For example, so let me use myself for an example, okay? And so I have to come up with one sentence to sum up what I do or what my business stands for. You need to come up with one sentence that sums up what your business stands for, okay? And it's called your elevator pitch. Why is it called an elevator pitch? It's called that because by the time you get on an elevator and by the time you get to whatever floor you're going to, you should be able to tell somebody in about 10 seconds or less, 20 seconds or less, what your business is and what it is that you do. Okay? So that's why it needs to be one sentence. So if you don't have a one sentence that says what you do, then I want you to work on that one sentence for your business. Okay? Very, very important. So it says, I am Dr. Shay Bills. I help women entrepreneurs grow and scale their businesses. That's pretty much it. I help them grow and scale their businesses online. Okay? Whether you have an offline business or an online business, I help you grow and scale your business. That's my one thing. Usually the next question people ask is, how do you do that? Then I'm able to tell you that I do that through systems, social media, and automation online. That's what I do. I teach, I coach, I train entrepreneurs to do that online. But my one sentence is a simple one sentence. Okay? So your sentence needs to be a one sentence that describes what you do, but it also coincides with your brand, because that's what your brand stands for. That's Nike says, just do it. Right? One sentence. Just do it. But guess what they spend millions of dollars doing? They spend millions of dollars pushing that swoosh sign. Now, they don't even have to say just do it. At the end of commercials, you just see the swoosh, right? Because they've invested time and energy and resources in solidifying that brand into your mind, right? Into your mind. That's the strength of brands, okay? So you're going to do the same thing whether you're a small business or a multi-million-dollar, billion-dollar business. The process is the same, okay? So you're building a brand, whether it's in your community, whether it's in your neighborhood, whether it's online, wherever it is, you are building a brand. And you must remember that. So what is the one sentence that you can come up with that speaks to your brand? Remember, your brand may be in the field of education. Your brand may be to inspire people. Your brand may be to motivate people or encourage people. Okay, what your brand might be to make people laugh. Okay, if you're a comedian, your brand may be to supply nutritious foods or whatever. If you are a farmer, think about your business and then think about how you can strengthen your brand based upon the messaging you send out to the public. Everything you do comes back to your brand. Everything you do comes back to your brand. So your brand mission and your brand purpose are two different things. Your mission is what you want to achieve. Your purpose is why you started. The mission is what you want to achieve. The purpose is why you start this. Did you start it to educate people? Did you start it to inspire people? Did you start it to provide a solution to a problem? Did you start it? So you have to know both of those things when you're starting or as you are in your business. Okay? So what makes the fourth question that I ask them is, what makes your brand unique? What makes your brand unique? That's a question that only you can answer. That's a question only you can provide to your specific audience. You can't ask someone else what makes your brand unique. You have to know what that is, and you have to be able to share that with your audience, right? Yes, Melanie, about those logos, it's so important because I've been guilty of it in the past because I liked something and it was cute, or I thought that it was a good look and it did not resonate. And long story short, I ended up having to ditch it for one of our business and then create a whole nother one. And it was a headache trying to do that in the middle of a business. So logos are very, very important. And I just don't think people put enough thought behind them when they're creating one, especially if they're trying to build a business that's going to last for a long period of time. You really need to sit down and think about your whole brand as a whole. Okay, so the question is, what makes your brand unique? What makes your business, what makes your brand different from the next person who is doing exactly what you are doing? Right? What makes you unique? Okay? And I'm going to tell you, sometimes it boils down to the consistency of your brand. Sometimes it really does. If two people are doing the exact same thing, I've seen it where people chose to do business with someone that was consistent, reliable, okay, over somebody who did the exact same thing, but their business, their brand was trash. Okay, and I'm saying that with all respect, okay? But I want you to get it. I mean, nobody wants to do a business with somebody they got to chase down to do business with. Nobody wants to do business with somebody that every time I do business with you, I got to DM you, okay? Every time I want to do business with you, nobody wants to keep doing that, okay? But if you catch somebody else doing the exact same thing, who has systems in place, the exact same thing, that has great customer service, that gets back to people when they say they're going to get back to people, who shows up for their business, that's who someone's going to do business with, okay? And they don't always have to be the best. I've seen it where people have done business with people who weren't the best, but because they were showing up consistently with their brand, they got the business, right? You don't have to be the best at it as long as your brand is consistently good in the eyes of your audience. Because trust me, I don't care what I do or what the next person, there's always somebody better, right? But it's who your customers and clients see showing up. It's the brand that they see being a professional. It's the brand that they see being consistent. It's the brand that they see, right? Always showing something fresh, new ideas, something on the scene. That's the brand that's going to get the business. Okay? Point, hands down, all day long. Okay? That's very important that you remember that. But you have to know what makes your brand unique. And usually when you can tell me what makes your brand unique, I can show you how you're going to build your brand strong. Sometimes when people don't know what makes them unique, that's what hinders them online. That's what hinders their business growth offline, because they've yet to find their unique value position in the industry. Okay? They've yet to find what separates them from everybody else selling pens. Okay? They've yet to define what makes them stand out from the crowd. So if you're building a brand, find that one thing, create that one sentence, and make sure you lead with that in everything that you do, to draw attention to it, but to also strengthen your business from the ground up or from where you are now moving forward. That's the key. That is the key. I promise you that's the key. So build your brand around what makes you unique, okay? Besides your products, okay? Besides everything else that you might have to offer. That's not what we're talking about, okay? I don't want to hear that I have the best, the best notebooks or whatever. No. What makes you unique, okay? What makes you different? What does that look like when I go to do business with you? That's what we need to lead with, okay? That's what we need to be presenting to our people. And that's very important in your business, okay? Very important. So then after you do that, now why did you choose those products and services? Because your products and services as you move forward are going to be an additional bonus to boosting your brand. Okay? I see people doing it backwards. They have all this stuff that they want to do, and then they go and try to come up with a brand. No. You have to decide what it is you want to stand for, what it is you want to achieve, and now we create products and services that strengthen that brand. Okay? Not the other way around. You want to know why? Because the other way around will have you all over the place. If you start creating all this stuff, and then now you want to try to create a brand, Most of the stuff you created is not going to fit the brand. Okay? So your brand is going to help keep you on track as to what it is you want to do. Now, if you're like me and you have multiple businesses, then you definitely better make sure that your brand is strong for each one of those different businesses, okay? And you want to show up based on that business you're presenting at that moment, okay? Or if not, they're all going to bleed together. They're all going to bleed together, okay? So brand recognition is important. Select the brand and then decide the products and services you want to follow. You have to know your brand mission. You have to know your brand purpose. You have to know that one word that defines your business for you and be able to define it for your business. But you also need to have that one sentence that sums up your whole brand, okay? That sums up everything you do into that one sentence. Okay? All right, guys, I have about 5 minutes for Q&A. If you have a question about brand, put that question in the comments around brand. I'll make sure that I answer that question for you. And if you ask that question, if you're catching it on the replay, I will come back later and try to answer that question for you. Or you are more than welcome to DM me that question so that I can get an answer for you. And please make sure that it is surrounding this topic today. Our topic today is... let me get back to it. Is how do others view your brand? How do others view your brand? Okay? You want people to view your brand favorably. Okay? You don't want people to say her brand is trash. I don't even know what she's doing. She's all over the place. I couldn't tell you that means your brand is in the trash. Okay? That means you haven't done enough time to build up a brand presence in front of your audience. Here's another thing. If you haven't built up a brand presence, then trust me, people are unlikely to buy. And if they do buy, I promise you, it'll be a hard-pressed time for you to get them to buy again. Okay? Because people think that quick success, people think that, oh my goodness, I sold out in the first month, or oh my goodness, I sold out in the first 2 days, or oh my goodness, I sold out the first time I did something. Trust me, that's people supporting you because of you. Got it? If you have not built a strong brand, and if that brand does not resonate with your products and your services, I promise you that beginning fizzle will fizzle out. That beginning push will phase out. Okay? So do the work. Do the work to strengthen your brand from the beginning. Do the work to strengthen your products and services that support that brand from the beginning. And if you have started a business and you have not done this work, it is not too late. You can go back and recover. You can go back and do the work so that moving forward, your brand is strong in the eyes of your customers and your clients. Okay? For those of you that are not or have not followed me, go ahead and click that like button, that follow button. You can find me at Instagram and on Facebook at Dr. Shay Bills. Also, if you want tips, if you want resources, if you want my latest exclusive deals on my products and my services to help you grow your business, then all you have to do is text BILLS, BILLS, to 21,000. Again, text BILLS, BILLS, to 21,000. Last time, text BILLS to 21,000. That's 21000, and that's BILLS. All right, guys, tomorrow's class is at noon. Again, I'm going to say noon-ish again on tomorrow. So tune in here on Facebook at 12 o'clock-ish noon for your lunch and your learn. And if you have any questions about branding, put those in the comments and I'll answer them later. Until then, have a blessed one. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.